Welcome back to the video, and in today's video, we're going to be doing every single NFL team's biggest off-season priority. And basically what that means is basically saying what I think every single team should try and look for in the off-season to improve, to upgrade, either if that's the draft, trades, signings, whatever. What I think that they need the most. This could be offensive, this could be defensive, this could be management. Basically, what I think that they could use the most and that could help them be a better team. If you guys like the NFL content with this earlier, like and subscribe to the channel. Currently, we're at 278 subscribers on the road to 300. If you are new and you like the content, subscribe. It really does help me out a lot, and I appreciate it super much. Let's get into the video. So we only have one tier today, and that is the off-season tier because we're going to be rating every single team and what they need in the off-season. The first team we are going to be rating today is the Arizona Cardinals. What I think that they need is a head coach. Cliff Kingsbury is fired. I think they need someone to take charge, take the lead, and take a head coach. They need an actual good one. I know Sean Payton's gone. I know, you know, I know a lot of these D'Amico Ryans is gone. I know a lot of these good head coaches are gone, but there's still some out there. And I think that the Cardinals, if they had a good head coach that could run their system, apart from health, I think that they're in a good position. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm actually not going to say quarterback here. I just think they need depth. Not saying, I'm not saying like in what position. I'm saying overall they need depth. I think the Falcons, I think they could use, one or two more wide receivers. I think that they could use another running back, because Cordell's getting older. I think maybe even like a backup quarterback for Desmond Ridder, maybe like a veteran backup. O-line could use an upgrade. Honestly, every single thing could use an upgrade. I would say, though, depth's the most important thing for the Falcons. For the Ravens, it's honestly pretty easy. This isn't even a player, it's health. The biggest offseason priority is getting all their players super healthy. We know how good they can be when Lamar Jackson's fully healthy. He needs to stay healthy, and then they're an easy playoff team and even maybe a division leader. I think that the Ravens need some health. For the Bills, it's a bit harder, but I'm going to say an offensive coordinator. I do not like how the Bills have been playing with the offense. They continuously just throw deep balls with Josh Allen. It seems like every single play, and that's just not that's not a success pattern that they're trying to do, trying to manipulate. They need to get into a rhythm easier. They need to actually play smart with the football. So I think an offensive coordinator can be a big thing. For the Panthers, I know they just got a head coach. I'm just going to say a quarterback. I don't think Sam Darnold's really the answer. I don't mind him. I just don't think that he's more of a backup than an actual starter. So I think I think that the Panthers, if I had to say, would be a quarterback, just someone that can lead their team. I don't know exactly who is available. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo, but I'm gonna guess he goes to the Jets. Next will be the Chicago Bears, and honestly, please do this. Just get him some O-line protection for Justin Fields. I mean, Fields gets injured so much because his O-line just keeps sucking, honestly. So if Justin Fields can get some good protection and he's able to throw that ball easily, I mean, I don't even mind the wide receivers that the Bears have. We know how good their running backs can be. We know how good Cole Kmet can be. That offense is actually quite good, and I know the defense is a big priority as well. But I think if they can make sure that their star quarterback's going to be safe and in the pocket, I think that's their biggest priority. Next up, we have the Bengals. This one's a little bit harder, in my opinion, because they really have that good of a team. But if I had to say it, I still think the O-line needs a little bit of work. I actually don't mind their defense. I just think with Joe Burrow getting sacked that many times against a KC defense who isn't even that good, I really think that the Bengals can definitely invest a little more. They did invest last year. I think they can invest even a bit more in that O-line. Next up, we have the Cowboys. This one isn't easy as well. In my opinion, though, this is tough actually. Maybe a kicker after what Brett Maher showed. I like their offense. I think it's just this one's actually kind of hard. You know what I think it is? Cap. I'm not saying anything else. Cap. Like not saying like cap like no, like cap. Like they need to get rid of some of their big contracts like Ezekiel Elliott and get them off to get some money because they're the biggest spending franchise. They can make a super team if they just did not make some stupid salary cap decisions. Next up, we have the Broncos. And they already got Sean Payton. They're looking pretty good. In my opinion, what they need is I think, some more management. And I'm not saying just Sean Payton. Sean Payton's great. They need more than Sean Payton, though. They need some good offensive coordinators. They need some good defensive coordinators. They need people that can really propel that team into a playoff position. And I think coaching is the main thing that they need, even with Sean Payton. Next up, we have the Lions. This one is a little bit harder, but I'm going to go with a tight end. They lost T.J. Hawkinson, so I think that that's the next priority. I actually don't really know who their tight end is right now. I've heard of his name. I don't remember his name, but I think overall that team is already really good. That defense has shown some potential. That O-line's great. That quarterback, Jared Goff's been amazing. Wide receivers have been good. Running back's been good. I just think they need a tight end to make a big body that can block. Next up, we have the Packers, and honestly, my biggest offseason priority is knowing what to do with Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers is just going to be the big talk. It's going to mess up with the team morale. It's going to mess up with everything else, and it doesn't really help them at all. They're just making it. They're just putting themselves in more and more of a hole as they keep going. They need to make a decision on Aaron Rodgers. Just either get rid of him or make him stop whining, please. Next will be the Texans. This is another team that I think has a lot they need to do. They did get a new coach. It's just a quarterback for me. In the draft, they just need to get a quarterback. It's super, super important, in my opinion. I just think that their team can at least provide a little bit more scoring if they had a quarterback. So they got to target a quarterback in the draft. They got to target at least a quarterback in the trade deadline. That's my biggest priority. Next up, we have the Colts. Another kind of hard one. I actually don't know who to quite pick here because I do need a lot of things. I'm also going to say, though, health. Every single year, they struggle with injuries. Their defense is always injured. John Taylor's injured this year. Their wide receivers are injured this year. Their whole team seemed that they were injured this year. So they can get more healthy. And honestly, a quarterback's pretty important, but honestly, I think health's the main important. Next will be the Jaguars. A really good season, in my opinion. Again, like the Falcons, I think they need some more depth. Not offensively, but defensively. I like their defense. They have some stars, but they need more players in that defense to really propel them because I think the Jaguars' defense is the only thing that's holding them back from being a real playoff contender. Next to the Kansas City Chiefs, another team that I don't think needs a ton of work. But I guess if I had to say, I think they could use a little bit more wide receiver depth. I actually don't mind their defense. I don't mind Juju even. I just think they need at least maybe like one more star wide receiver to get them like past the hurdle. Honestly though, if they win a Super Bowl, it doesn't really matter after that. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, I'd love to say a coach, but at this point, I think they're pretty frowned upon with Brandon Staley. So I'm just gonna say some coordinators because I think they're already gonna roll with Brandon Staley. So they need some people next to Brandon Staley that can really help him. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams. I guess it's gonna be also healthier. I mean, you still have a really good team on paper. You just need all of them to be healthy. You need Stafford to be healthy. You need Cooper Kupp to be healthy, and their team could still be very, very good. So in my opinion, I think health's the biggest thing for the LA Rams. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. I think because Derek Carr's about to leave, you need a quarterback. And Josh, what even is his name? I don't remember his name. He didn't play that bad at the end of the year, but I think they need an actual quarterback. I'm not saying Derek Carr is bad. I think Derek Carr is a really good quarterback, but they're not going to sign him, and you can tell that they're not going to sign him, so they need someone else. Next up is the Miami Dolphins. I could go health here, but I'm just going to go with the defense. Just going to go with the defense. Simple as that. Defense was terrible this year. They need to improve on their defense. And honestly, it's the same with the Vikings coming up here as well. Both teams just need to improve on their defense. Not even a specific position. They just need to improve overall on their defense. They need to make some signs. They need to make some trades. They need to make some draft decisions to get them better defensively. Next up, we have the New England Patriots. This one's also a little bit hard, but I actually would not mess with the offense except one thing. Get Mac Jones some actual wide receiver threats. I mean, I'm sorry, but Kendrick Bourne and Devontae Parker and Nelson Aguilar is not the answer. I'm sorry. Even if you think it was, I don't think it is at all. They just need they need the actual wide receivers that can play, because I actually don't think Mac Jones is that bad. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints. This one's also a little bit tough. In my opinion, though, they just need a solid quarterback. I mean, I like Andy Dalton, but if we're being honest, they do need a quarterback that can actually make them a contender, especially with Tom Brady retired. I mean, the Saints are kind of in that hot seat, that next team to maybe even win that NFC South division. Next up, we have the New York Giants. Another really good year for them. And, I mean, this is pretty easy. It's wide receivers. Daniel Jones just needs some help. He just needs some targets to throw to because we saw what he could do with a bunch of terrible wide receivers. Imagine what he could do with a star like OBJ or I'm trying to think of others. There's a lot more probably that Devontae Adams. I like he'd be that good. Next will be the New York Jets. I mean, I think they're gonna go get him, but I think it's a quarterback. Zach Wilson's not the answer. Mike White's just not the answer. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna be a New York Jet, and I think that's what they need. Next up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, kind of similar to the Chiefs. You just need to win a ring at this point. If I had to put you, I guess I would say some. I actually don't even know. Their team is so good. It's so good. I just say some. I just say get healthy. I mean, like I just say make sure that Jalen Hurts is good going into next year. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna say here. I'm just gonna say here a. This is a hard one as well. I like their team. I'm gonna say O line. I think they need to do some help on the O line. I think they need some help to make sure Kenny Pickett can develop as a quarterback because I do think he has some potential. Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks. This one is very easy. Just get a better defense. I don't mind your defense, but your defense is not good. It's just not good at all. I think that they can improve on the defensive side of the ball. I think they're going to look a lot better. Next up, we have my Niners, and in my opinion, I'm actually not going to say we need a quarterback. I just think we need health. I mean, Brock Purdy's going to be injured. Some are going to trade lines. We just need to stay healthy. If we can stay healthy, our team is a Super Bowl contender. And even with them partially injured, they're still a Super Bowl contender. It's just, if they can stay healthy, they'll be good. But again, Brock Purdy gets injured, Eagles win. Simple as that. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Honestly, you just need a replacement for Tom Brady. It's simple as that. Nothing else much to say there. They need a quarterback. They need a replacement because right now, I don't even know who your starting quarterback is, but I'm kind of worried for whoever it is. You need to not go back to not being good. You need to make sure that you get a good replacement for Tom Brady and maybe even Derek Carr. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans. Honestly, I would say here is wide receiver. I think they could still use a wide receiver. I don't mind the wide receiver group. I think I could use one more good player. I honestly still don't hate Tannehill. I just think his system's been kind of messed up. So I'm just gonna say wide receiver. The Washington Commanders. This one's also kind of a tough one. In my opinion, what the Washington Commanders need is just some, just just better coaching, honestly. Ron Rivera was not the answer. For some reason, they put Carson Wentz at the end of the year when it should have been Travis Heinicke throughout, and that kind of cost them the playoff chances. I just think they need better coaching overall. And last but not least, we have the Cleveland Browns. I'd just say make sure their players don't stay in prison. Deshaun Watson, Kareem Hunt, make sure that those stars do not get in prison or do not influence other guys to do so. Your team needs to stay healthy, and your team needs to be on the field, actually. And that's the end of my tiers. If you guys like the tiers, make sure you really like and subscribe to this channel. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!